Namaste and Hotep. Before I go any further, my name is Jess.herriott, by the way, if you're just watching for the first time. I'm a spirituality teacher. Um, Hotep, and I should say this, if you study spirituality, you'll find that the Kemetic sciences, the Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, I should say, in their system of writing, which is called Medu Neter, it's the study or the symbols of the Neters, the archetypes of consciousness of God, of the universe, not hieroglyphics. Medu Neter, the symbol Hotep is a hand with fruit on it, offerings on it, and meat. And it represents an offering to a god, so, or a goddess, so divinity. So if I or another says Hotep to you, unlike Namaste, which means I salute the divinity in you, the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you, Hotep takes it even further, and Hotep says that not only do I salute the divinity in you, because again, Hotep is an offering, it's a hand with offering on it, or a plate that's presented to the gods or divinities. I salute the divinity in you, but I also worship and bow down and acknowledge the divinity in you, number one. But number two, not only do I do that, but I give you the best parts of me, because the fruit and the meat and the offering that's on the plate presented to the divinity based on the Hotep symbol, it's the best that that person had to offer. So by saying Hotep and Namaste, not only am I saying I salute the divinity in you, but I'm saying the best of me acknowledges the best of you, or through this message or through my presence and my words, I'm offering you the best that I've got. So, which is a lot. When someone gives you their best, it shows a lot about them. And this has nothing to do with me as an individual ego. This is just something that our ancestors left for us to teach us how to behave in the world as good children. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So when I say Hotep, I'm saying it with the full consciousness of what it means. So I say to you, watchers and viewers, Hotep. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. For the core followers that follow this information, you know who you are. You're the reason why I've been able to go into workshops all throughout the Southeast and present this information. So I will be eternally grateful, and I will be your mailman and your messenger as long as you will be available to receive the mail and the message. With that said, this metaphysical insight is based on the book of Genesis, and it's based on a particular teaching that I did not too long ago at a spiritual center. This particular story is the story of Noah's flood. Now, again, I say, as I said in all videos, we don't see the myths as they are, we see them as we are. And if you've seen lots of my videos, then you probably were repeating the statement along with me, because I say it all the time. And I do believe that it's true that mythology and the world, they are our mirrors, and we can behold the self ourselves in them. And then what it does is it puts us on the path of growth. We are always searching or looking for that which is looking. It reflects us back. So even when we try to look outside at the book or outside at the world, automatically our sight is reverted back inward and we see ourselves. If you don't believe me, right now you're listening to my voice, but you are listening to your put togetherness of my voice, I should say. You are listening to your understanding of my voice. You are not experiencing Jesse. I am Jesse. You are not experiencing the full me as I experience me. You are experiencing me through your consciousness. Jesus said that no man cometh unto me but except the Father, or but through the Father. No one can come to you except through your Father, through your consciousness. They have to come through your consciousness. Jesus said, if any man comes any other way, he's a thief and a robber. There's only one door. That's through you, through your consciousness. And when it comes in through your consciousness, so it's your perception, it's your interpretation, it's your experience. And that's the thing. This thing that we call the self, in spiritual systems in the East, they say that it's illusory, the self as far as the ego is concerned. It's not real. And the way you can determine that it's not real is that, your thoughts, if you can sit in meditation and kind of turn your attention to what is looking, or turn your attention to your thoughts, or turn your attention inside and try to find I. Just turn your attention inside and try to find I. Where is I am? Where is Jesse? Where is Jesse? And the more you look for I, eventually I disappears, and there's just this knowingness, this emptiness, this home and emptiness, this self. And then you can rest because you realize that what you call yourself, I, Jesse, Martha, whatever your name is just an amalgamation of thoughts and energies that you put together. That's not solid per se. It's both solid and fluid. Your individual self, your individual ego is like water. You know, if you smack it wrong, it feels solid, but yet you can still permeate it and go through it. And so the individual ego is like water. You know, it feels hard because when you talk about yourself or talk to someone, it seems like you're a complete person. But yet consciously, you know, when you meditate and go inside, the same way you go into the waters of the ocean or into a river, you can go into the self and through it, and then there's a whole entire world of pure consciousness that just sits and watches and observes. And with that said, you can rest and be at peace because you know that there is a greater is he in me than he that is in the world, in the words of Jesus. The he that is in the world is our ego, individual self, and the greater that that greater part is pure consciousness itself. It's the field that Rumi talked about, where he said, there is a field and I will meet you there. Because when you are there, in essence, the space between thoughts, the space between words, the space between heartbeats, but yet it is also the heartbeat itself, and it permeates the heartbeat and the word. It is the unmoved mover that moves everything. You know, it is pure consciousness itself. You will find that when you are there, that your experience of it is also my experience. On an individual level, I can never give you what it is like to be Jesse. I can give you my best interpretation of it, and then you can, in essence, take that interpretation in and give your interpretation of what it is like to be Jesse or to be you. But when you get to pure consciousness, pure bliss, that state, that space that you are in, if I can get there too, it is the same space. That's why the mystics say that there is a field, and if you get there, I will meet you there, because you will find that there is no separation between you and I in that space. On a grosser, subtler, on a grosser level, as we get to ego, yes, there's separation because you are you and I am Jesse. But if we can get back, meditate, go deeper, get into the self, that state of pure consciousness and oneness, there's no separation because we meet in the middle. That's where the dots connect. That's where the dots connect. What I want to talk about today, outside of this other thing that I'm talking about right now, it connects with it. It's from the book of Genesis, and in this particular myth, it's the myth of Noah's flood. Again, all this stuff is archetypes and it's myths, and it represents states of consciousness. Noah received information about a flood coming, and so he built an ark and took the best of everything, in essence, and put it in the ark, and then it rolled the waters of the flood in the ark, and eventually landed and was saved as a result of his listening to this information from life. And then the waters receded and they got out on dry land, and the story ended. You know the story. I'm sure you've heard it before. Well, I believe that's all a metaphor for states of consciousness in the self. And the metaphysical insight that came to me today from it was that Noah is the knower. Noah is the knower. It's the soul on the inside. Noah is the knower, and the ark is our physical body. So the knower sits inside the physical body, in essence. For you that are deeply meditative, just follow me, for instance, for a second, because I know you're going to say that, wait a minute, the soul isn't housed in the body is in the soul. But just follow me for a minute. If we say that the soul is Noah, the knower, and it's inside of the physical body, then the physical body is the ark that carries it and all of the other personality traits that we have as we walk and make our way through life. But check this out, on an even deeper level, um, it also is a metaphor for how we came into the world. If Noah is the knower, your soul, yourself, and it's housed in the physical body, when your mother conceived of you, and you were surrounded by amniotic fluid, it's in essence the same story as in the Genesis experience, where Noah sat in the ark and rode in the ark the flooding waters, and appeared on, and he stepped foot out of the ark when the waters receded. He was able to put his foot on dry land. And so when you were born, the flooding waters receded because your mother her water broke. When the waters receded, you were able to come forth on dry land. So mystically, if we look at it with mystical eyes, the story of Noah's Ark is a story of how we, in essence, got here, through our mother, our soul being incarnated in a physical body of sorts that grew and developed, and we rode the flooding waters, so to speak, of our mothers in our mother's wombs. And then when our ark rested, waters broke, we were able to step out of the ark onto dry land, in essence. So but what I want to tell you today, based on that interpretation and that metaphysical insight, that if the soul in fact is the knower, then you can rest, because there is a part of you that knows. Be still and know that I am God. Be still, and know that you are God, that you are good, that you are divine, that you are protected, and that you are safe. That regardless of whether or not you can't figure this out, whatever this may be, there is a knower inside of you that already knows. Get back to that. Get back to that consciousness. If you can start looking at yourself first, this consciousness first, and then come out, then you will see possibility. Like I said, things may not be easy in your life, but it will definitely make things easier when you adopt this state, adopt this consciousness. So rest easy tonight, today, tomorrow, and know that there is a knower inside of you. And if you do not have the answer, if you are open and you make yourself available, you will see the answer. It will come to you in a flash, in an insight, in a conversation, through a billboard, something. Your consciousness will see it, because that's what you're looking for. What you see depends on what you are looking for. If I were to show you two fingers, right, and I were to ask you to tell me what you see, depending on what you are looking for, you may say, I see the hand of an African American male who's holding up two fingers. Someone else may say, well, I see an African American man with a blue shirt, and he has fingernails. And it all depends on what you're looking for. What you describe, what you express, what you experience depends on what you see. And what you see depends on what you are looking for. So if all of that is true, then why not get all the way back behind all of those statements and tap into what is looking? Because if you can connect with what is looking, then it will change what you are looking for, which will change what you see, which will change what you describe and you express, and then in turn will change what you experience. Take that in. That metaphysical insight today came to me and it changed my world. Hopefully it will change yours. My name is Jess.herriott. I'm a spiritual teacher and writer. My website is www.fulfillment.com. Similar to the way you spell fulfillment, it's fulfillment, because I believe that there is a space and a place where thought and feeling collide and come together and work in harmony. So that's why my website is called Fulfillment. So again, my website is www.fulfillment.com. My contact information is there. Should you wish to book my ministry, my work, and bring it to a spiritual center near you, click on Contact Us. The office hours are available on the website, as well as the office number. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter and Instagram. Just type in Jess.herriott. You'll find that information there. And especially Facebook, you definitely want to stay in communication with me there, because Facebook is where I share all of my major updates about workshops that I'm presenting in the area, all throughout the Southeast. And I'd love to meet you in person if you can make the drive out to one of my presentations. I've been long-winded now. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching. Tune in next time for another Metaphysical Insight with Jess.herriott. Peace and blessings.